Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Gaydarzhiev. Gaydarzhiev is the founder and president of Alcatraz AI, a global provider of frictionless AI-powered biometric access control solutions, revolutionizing security through facial authentication. With over 10 years of technology engineering experience, Vince continues to lead Alcatraz AI with pioneering biometric authentication and security solution advancements, driven by his passion for leveraging cutting-edge technology to enhance safety and efficiency. Well, good afternoon, Vince. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Love doing this. Appreciate you making the time. You based out of LA right now. I'm in Kansas City. So good timing this evening for our schedules. But Vince, let's just jump right into your first question here. What inspired you to focus on biometric access control as the primary application for AI at Alcatraz AI? And how has your vision evolved since the company's inception?
Well, yeah, thank you. Thank you for hosting. Great question. I've been working on this for the last 8 years. My experience mainly is coming from Apple. Before Apple, I used to work at NVIDIA on cars, on pencil cars. But at Apple, I was involved with iPhone creation, iPad creation, and with the inception of Face ID, the project that eventually became Face ID and how you would do sensing and facial recognition on the phones. So, that's what we were doing at Apple. And at some point, we visited a bunch of factories, data centers, locations with high security. And I just saw an opportunity based on the access control and security back in the days, 8, 9, 10 years ago with, badges and other ways to authenticate like iris or fingerprint readers. Apple mostly uses just guards, security guards, passing you to badging, kind of doing manual facial recognition between the badge and the face. And I just got inspired to do the Face ID of the physical world for enterprise. So large companies don't have to go through this. They don't have to, create huge budgets to afford thousands or hundreds of guards to increase security. But actually they can use technology to solve for security. That's the premise of Alcatraz.
I like that. Security has got to be paramount these days, as you know, whether it's in the fintech world or just physical security, as you mentioned. We got to start leveraging the newer technology and ways that we can thwart a lot of these ways that people are bypassing security measures to get in either to a building or get into somebody's bank account. So I appreciate you really focusing on that. Vince, Alcatraz AI has been at the forefront of implementing facial authentication in security systems. How do you ensure the privacy and security of users' biometric data while maintaining the system's efficiency?
Great question. Thank you for asking, Brian. So, we knew about privacy and security and, information security policies and networking policies and just the very basic need for privacy and, keeping PII safe for the employees of our potential customers back in days. So we designed our platform and product with this in mind in its core. Ever since 2016, we've been working on technology, including patents on how we can see the world, let the world see faces, but actually don't connect those faces to people's names, people's private information. We encrypt our technology. We use a lot of layers on how we create the operating system and how we deploy, manage the enrollments of our employees, how we move data through the environment, even on-premise environment in organizations to make sure we keep privacy and security intact. And now with GDPR in Europe coming into play more and more in the US, and now the new additions to the law basically say that any GDPR employee, any European employee of a large corporation, if they come in the US, if they go outside Europe or European Union, GDPR will follow them. Law follows them. So even if they come in the US, even if they go to a different region outside the European Union, GDPR will essentially apply there as well. So that kind of triggers a situation where, for example, in the US, there is no federal level privacy kind of security law. There is some state level laws like BIPA in Illinois. But now a lot of companies, a lot of global companies need to have GDPR technologies inside the US as well, just so they pass their audits and they're safe as they have offices in the European Union. And our technology comes right in there. It was built in its core with privacy and PII-free environment in mind.
Thank you. You're absolutely right. I think GDPR comes to the forefront. As you know, some states are getting a lot stricter around that, especially in California, as you know. So I appreciate you highlighting that. And Vince, the landscape of AI regulation is rapidly evolving, especially with upcoming frameworks in regions like the European Union. How is Alcatraz AI preparing to navigate these regulatory challenges, and what impact do you foresee this having on the adoption of biometric technologies?
I think first, this is great. This has been a long time coming. I'm happy in the last couple of years, OpenAI and the rest of the newcomers in the AI space, they're opening up the doors for regulation and how we make sure AI isn't going to get out of control, both on the technology side, but also on the privacy side. So, the world, it's privacy a little bit longer and hopefully more and more. And now that they're aware of the risks. And Alcatraz is going to be doing the same thing we've been doing since the beginning, since we knew about what the enterprise needs, requirements are around privacy and security. We co-built many of the requirements with large corporations since back in 2017, 2018, when we started deploying pilots with our tech. GDPR and a lot of the large enterprise information security reviews and regulations were not really developed. So we helped them develop, co-develop with us. And we're happy now that as the wave of AI is coming in, maybe second wave of AI is going to be coming in, with more strict rules around data and privacy, not only biometrics, but across many industries, a lot of verticals. We feel very confident we actually built pretty amazing technology that will comply and then will be on the forefront of the regulation. We were actually, one of our benefits of the company is we have built a pretty awesome over-the-air updating system, kind of similar to a Tesla, right? You used to buy security technology one time, you deploy it, and it's frozen in time. Now we have continuous updates monthly, quarterly, to keep being on the forefront of privacy and software and just in general networking security, to the point where we can make a future-proof product that once a global company deploys in the US and outside the US in 10, 20, but can make many, many regions, they don't have to worry about one of those regions changing laws and our technology now not complying. That's a big issue for companies where they want to keep an umbrella of one technology certified across the globe, so they don't have to mix and match, especially in biometrics and access control and people's templates and how they're used. So that's exactly what we promised. We promised that we're going to be evolving with regulation to provide value to our customers in a way to future-proof our technology in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And in a way, Vince, you're kind of setting a standard. You're at the forefront of really pioneer in this deployment. And again, you may honestly be setting the industry standard at some point. So I appreciate you highlighting that as well. And Vince, last question of the day, looking ahead, what are the most promising advancements in AI-powered security solutions that you believe will shape the future of the industry? And how is Alcatraz AI positioning itself to lead in these areas?
Yeah, great question. So as we're coming into the world of GPTs and data, this will be the number one thing we as an industry and even as a company will be working on in the future. How can we use massive amount of data, not personal data, not employee data, sensor data, right? Your environment, where you are right now, either home or in the office, it creates a lot of data based on all the sensors that are deployed. How do you make sure you collect that sensing data, you make sense out of it, and you give it back as a tool so admins, security teams, executives, management, analysts can actually make sense of it much, much faster. Think of it as a trained GPT in security for the future. So that's one thing. And second thing is not only through AI, specifically in analytics, but also how can you start augmenting things that are physical, that are legacy, that can be optimized in a way for them to help them. For example, how can you augment physical guards, right? Companies or other entities, they deploy physical guards everywhere. But a physical guard gets tired. You have to have basically 3 shifts of guards all the time at a certain, area and even then it's kind of hard to guard something. How can you deploy AI and technology with, machine learning, computer vision, with data to augment what's physical and potentially deploy at many more locations currently not secure enough, not guarded in a way to overall increase significantly the security posture of an organization, to make it safe for the employees, for the organization itself, as now things Technology, as it's developed, it's becoming much more advanced, much more complex, which means a lot more IP, a lot stronger IP that costs a lot more money and time and employees to develop. How can you guard that IP, either in the data center environment, in a corporate environment? How can you make sure everything is safe from an IP, from an employee perspective? Or you have to significantly increase physical security, security in the organization, not only cybersecurity, as now cyber and physical kind of merging into one field of security powered by AI. So I think that's where the industry is going. And, hopefully Alcatraz is also on the forefront of that.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with you. There's still a lot of human involvement, whether it's physical security, data center, cybersecurity, and having AI augment all those areas are key to the success of securing a lot of this data. So I appreciate your thoughts on that. And Vince, it was certainly a pleasure having you on this evening, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you for hosting. Much appreciated.
Bye for now.